Hey everyone, this is Mike, and today I'm showing off Defense Grid the board game. I wanted to show you a mission with some more stuff unlocked, so we're going to start with Mission 3, playing a one-off mission. First I have to pick the AI I'm going to control, which gives me a once per game power, determines what my deck will be made up of in terms of card types, and also gives me my initial level ups that will give me more powers when I use certain cards. This mission is the first I've played to use the Concussion Tower, which looks really powerful, so I picked Zakara because she has one level of Concussion to start with. She has a once per game ability called Tower Overcharge, which lets her add +1 damage to all towers by all players for the rest of this round, so basically all my towers will do more damage. And her deck is made up of 10 attack cards, 3 special cards, and 7 support cards, though I'm going to get to level up a bit before I start the mission. Mission 3 is a fairly small, self-contained mission, which I liked because I wanted to make this a fairly fast and furious playthrough. But it has the key elements that every mission map has. Over here I've got the core housing with my 12 core tokens already on it, and if the enemies can capture all of those, I lose. I've got the entry and exit, so some maps will have a separate entry and exit, and the guys will kind of go from one end and snake their way to the other. But in this case, they're going to be wrapping back around themselves after they steal from my core and trying to get back to the exit with it. Next, I've got these gray build hexes, which are the only places I can put towers, so I'm fairly limited in this mission. And finally, I've got the actual hexes of the path that the enemies will follow as they try to get my core housing tokens. Speaking of the enemy, each mission has a specific number and type of aliens that you're going to be fighting in the mission. In this case, I've got some I've seen before. Walkers are pretty slow guys that have a lot of health. Swarmers are faster and kind of force you to shoot at them before you shoot at anybody else, so they sort of defend everybody. Rhinos can sometimes move faster and have a ton of armor. And bulwarks have some armor and also a shield, and we'll explain what all this stuff means pretty soon. Enemies new to me in this mission are Rumblers, which can carry a ton of core tokens and are pretty tough to kill. And Carriers, which when I kill them, actually set up a little shield tower that protects all the rest of the enemies until I can take it out. Up here you'll note the waves already set up. Now this is a little hard to see from a top-down point of view, but each of these enemies has these 2 little towers where I can stack things. So here it's health. The Bulwark has a shield token as well, which will stop the first attack against it. And it's got its actual statistics over here, so it moves 4, can carry 1 core, those are the core tokens I'm trying to defend, and has 1 armor that's subtracted from every attack. Now do note, as I get to the later waves, the enemies get free bonuses to their health, and here I'm playing 1 player, so it's +1, +1, +1, and then +2 for the final wave. So they do get tougher to kill as I go. And also in the final wave, I'll have some randomly chosen enemies come back from ones I've defeated before, so I don't quite know exactly what's coming. Now playing Mission 3 as a one-off, I get 12 experience points to start, and then since I'm playing a solo game, I get 3 more, so I have 15 experience to play with. The 3 towers I've chosen to focus on, because especially with single player you really have to focus, are the Concussion Tower, the Cannon Tower, and an Inferno Tower. Gives me a nice mix of armor-piercing and area of effect weapons. You'll note that Zakara already has Cannon and Concussion at level 1, but does not have Inferno. So I'm going to spend 9 experience to get Concussion all the way to Master level. You'll see what that means for my support cards in a moment. And then spend 3 and 2 to get Inferno to Novice level and Cannon to Elite level. That'll leave me with 1 experience that I can't spend for anything. Now in terms of my cards in my deck, I'm going to have 20, and 10 of them are attack cards, which are just basic cards that fire my towers. I already said I'm going to have Inferno, Cannon, and Concussion as the 3 I focus on. So I got a nice mix of all of them, although I want to make Concussion my main attack type this game, so I got a little bit more of Concussion, 4, 3, and 3. Then Zakara has 7 support cards, and note that these were my Novice, Elite, and Master level ups come in. So Cannon I got to Elite, so I'm going to have 2 of these Airburst shells that'll add a little bit more damage because they're at Elite level. Inferno Towers I got to just Novice, so I'll just ignore some armor with this one. And then finally, Concussion, again, I want to use more than anything else, so I got 3 of their support tokens, and they're at Master level. So I'm going to be able to attack ignoring 1 armor and adding 2 dice of damage whenever I use one of these for a Concussion attack. Finally, I get 3 special cards, and I was pretty worried about Zakara only having 10 attack cards. That's fewer than AIs I've played with in the past with this game. So I just got 3 copies of it, Activate Any Tower. It's basically a wild attack card, so with the 10 I have, I should be able to fire stuff very frequently. Do note, by the way, that this is a deck construction game, so you build your deck going in, knowing what the enemies are, and kind of building a strategy. It's not a deck builder, so I'm not going to add any cards as I play the mission. As a final step before starting the mission, I gain my starting resources, which is 19 for a single player. And note the cost of the towers I'm going to build. Infernos are 5, cannons are 8, and concussion is also 8. I begin each round with a refresh phase, which means I draw up to my maximum hand size, which is 7. In this case, I got 2 of my activate any tower, 2 of my 3 cannons, 1 of my concussion, 1 inferno, and 1 of my inferno boosters. Note, though, that there are no enemies on the board the first turn. They'll come in at the end of this first round. So in this case, I'm probably going to sell most of these cards just for more resources. So we go into my action phase. I can discard a card, and for each card I discard, I get 1 resource to add to my starting 19. I can build a tower on one of those build hexes, paying its cost and putting it down. And note these little red cubes and the rate of fire value. The Inferno and the Concussion have 2, the Cannon has 1. That's how many times I can play attack cards to attack with each of these. So the Cannon, for example, only gets 1 shot per cannon per turn. For 5, I can upgrade a tower, placing it on one of these little yellow things, or if I pay 10, flipping it to its red, even more powerful version. And note that this changes the amount of damage they're doing. So the cannon, for example, does 3 damage at level 1, 3 plus a die roll, basically a 50-50 shot of doing an extra damage, and then 4 plus a die roll at level 3. My 4th action is I can sell a tower, getting some of its cost back. My final action is to play a card, and the most common way I'll do that is to play one of these attack cards to attack with one of my towers, and I can additionally play one of my support cards matching the tower to help that attack. For this first turn, I can start planning out where I want to kind of set up my defenses, and I can look at the enemies coming in. Note that there's going to be a Swarmer who moves 7, and a Bulwark who moves 4, so pretty big difference in movement there. I will note, though, that there is a movement die you roll each turn with a single +1 and a single +2 side that add to the enemy movement. So you can never be 100% sure of exactly where they're going to go round to round. But in this case, it's likely that the Bulwark will end up here or somewhere in here, and that the Swarmer will get all the way over to this corner. To explain briefly what my 3 towers can do, the Cannon can shoot up to range 4 for 3 damage, hitting 1 alien. Concussion can shoot at range 2 twice per turn, only doing 1 damage, but it hits every single alien within that range 2, so blasts a whole bunch of people. And the Inferno Tower also has a rate of fire 2, only has 1 range, but hits 3 contiguous hexes all kind of around itself. So it's probably going to be a natural fit to build an Inferno Tower here, maybe a Concussion Tower here, probably another Inferno Tower here, and then space some cannons kind of along the way. I'll note there that I don't have to do any of that this turn because I'll be able to build it next turn once I see exactly where the aliens end up. So for now I'm going to sell, I think basically all of these, except for one of these any towers so that I can make sure I can attack with exactly what I need to next turn. So I'm selling 6 cards, that's going to up my resources by 6 overall. So that brings me from 19 to 25, one short of the maximum you can hold at one time. The next step of a turn is the return core phase. Basically, if aliens had gotten away with one of my cores, they would move 3 hexes back toward my core housing, which would try to make them safe, especially in a map like this where the enemies kind of wrap back around themselves. But in this case, I'm just bringing on the first wave, rolling our movement die, no change, which means the Swarmer will move 7 and the Bulwark will move 4. Note that the entry-exit hex is not counted for actual movement, so the Bulwark ends up right here, and the Swarmer ends up right here. The Bulwark has 4 life and 1 shield, and again, a shield cancels out the very first attack against it, no matter how much damage it would do. The Swarmer has only 2 life. We're back in my refresh phase. I keep the 1 card I kept from last turn and draw 6 new ones. Definitely glad I kept that activate any tower card because I got 1 cannon and 1 cannon support, 1 concussion and 2 concussion support, and a Inferno support with no card for it. Now looking at the board, I think it is a natural fit for me to put my single concussion, and I do only have a single one of these that I can build, here. That'll give them, remember, it hits everybody within 2 hexes, so they'll hit everybody in this little corner, going over to here, going over to here. So pretty good coverage of this entire side of the board. As I build something, I can build a boost underneath it to give it no worries about line of sight, let it see over other towers. But because the concussion tower doesn't need line of sight anyway, I don't have to worry about that. But for comparison, if I had built a cannon tower here, I couldn't shoot, for example, right there. Enemies don't block line of sight, the regular build hexes don't, but other towers block line of sight, and that's where a boost becomes useful. So I might, when I build a cannon, get a boost underneath it. So building that concussion tower costs 8 resources, which brings me down to 17. And I've definitely got enough to build another tower, maybe upgrade the concussion tower, or both. Now attacking with it twice right now would deal 1 damage each of these guys. That would defeat the Swarmer if I attack twice. The Bulwark, the first attack would take off its shield, since again any amount of damage will do that. But the second attack would ping off its 1 armor and do none of its 4 life at all. I could upgrade the concussion tower twice, that'd be 5 and then 15, almost all of my money. But that would let it do 2 damage plus a potential die roll for a 3rd damage with each of its attacks. I do also have these defense buster bombs, which remember I upgraded to master level, that ignore 1 armor, that would take away the Bulwark's armor, and also add 2 dice to the damage being dealt. But it seems like building a cannon to do a bunch of damage to the Bulwark and other enemies coming with a lot of shields might be a better long-term strategy, so I don't think I'm going to waste all my resources just upgrading the concussion tower just yet. So the cannon has 4 range, and I do want to build it on a booster so it doesn't have to worry about line of sight for the rest of the game. This spot seems perfect for an Inferno tower, so let's see, if I go here, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so that would cover all the way to the entrance. It would cover this entire area. I would still leave that open for an Inferno tower. Yeah, so this is a great spot for this cannon. That'll cover almost the entire map with just 1 tower. That was 2 for the boost, and then 8 more for the cannon, leaving me with 7 overall. Now don't forget, the cannon only has 1 rate of fire, so even if I had multiple cannon cards, I could only shoot with it once per turn. So I already know that 2 fires of the concussion tower are going to destroy the Swarmer, and then the cannon could do 3 damage to the Bulwark, its shield will already be gone, -1 for its armor will do 2 damage, so if the concussion tower can do 2 with its second attack, that would finish him off. And again, it'll ignore his 1 armor, so that's 1 damage automatic, so I would just have to get 1 more damage from 2 dice. So I think I'll be okay. I don't think I need to upgrade either of these just yet. So my next action will be to attack with my concussion tower. Again, I hit everyone within range 2, which is both of these enemies, for 1 damage. The Swarmer takes 1 of its 2 life, and the Bulwark takes its 1 shield. And again, its armor does not apply to this, it just loses the shield automatically. And I do remove 1 of the rates of fire from the concussion tower to show that it's shot once. Next, I'm going to use my Activate Any tower to attack with the concussion tower again, this time boosting it, and I can only play 1 support per attack within a master level defense buster bomb. So -1 armor and +2 dice of damage. So my concussion tower does 1 damage automatically. Let's see if it gets any more. Ah, no. No extra damage at all. So the Bulwark still takes 1 damage, because remember, its armor was canceled by the card, and the 1 regular damage gets through. And the Swarmer is defeated because it's lost its last health. Swarmers are worth 2 resources each time I destroy one. And I will note I had to do this in the order I did, because if a Swarmer is within range of a tower that's attacking, that it can see in its line of sight, it has to attack the Swarmer. So if I'd tried to shoot the cannon, it would have had to shoot the Swarmer because it could not shoot the Bulwark until he was destroyed. So from killing the Swarmer, I get 2 more resources, up to 9. Now my cannon will definitely take 2 of the Bulwark's life away because it's doing 3 damage, -1 armor. I could play the airburst shells and attack 2 enemies in the target hex, which doesn't affect us here, but also add a die, which gives me a 50-50 chance of defeating him for good right now. Or I could upgrade the cannon with 5 of my resources to give it a free die every time it attacks. But for now, I don't think I need either one, because I'm pretty sure the concussion tower is going to get another shot at him. So I'll just shoot with the cannon. That's its only fire for the turn. And I'll do 2 damage after shields are subtracted, leaving the Bulwark with just 1 life left. And there's my cannon card, just to show you I could do that. Now I have to decide if I'm going to keep any of these. I definitely don't think I need the Inferno tower upgrade. I'll sell that for a resource. Both of these are pretty good, but I'm pretty sure I have more of these cards coming, so I'm going to sell just everything and get 3 more resources for myself. Brings me up to 12, so more than enough next turn to maybe boost both of my towers up to yellow level. Okay, no core housing to move this turn, so we're going to see how far the enemies go. And no change to their basic move value. So the injured Bulwark moves 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right in between both of my towers. We get some new friends on. Here we have a Carrier, movement 5, can carry 2 cores, 1 armor, has 4 life. He'll pop up right there. A Rhino has 6 life, 2 armor, so super hard to kill, can carry 1 core. He moves 4, but his special power is that if the die rolls a bonus, he doubles that bonus, but for now he's just going to be right there. And finally another Swarmer to distract me from my shots. He's only got 2 life, but he moves 7. I've got a lot of great shots for my concussion tower. Let's see if we draw a card to attack with it. Okay, I discarded my entire hand last turn, so I'm getting my last 7 cards. Interesting. So I got 2 Inferno, 2 Concussion, no Cannon, but I do have my Activate Any. So I've got full shots. I've got 2 shots I can take with my Concussion Tower. Got 1 bonus to go with them. I've got another Air Burst with my Cannon, although not too useful because nobody's on the same space. And if I build an Inferno, I can get 2 shots with that as well. So first things first, my Concussion Tower is in a beautiful spot, so I'm definitely going to upgrade it to yellow level. That'll give it 1 free die, again a 50-50 chance of an extra damage every time it attacks. That brings me from 12 resources down to 7. Now I would love to spend 10 more and get it to its red level and have it do 2 automatic damage plus a die every time it attacks, but I'm not sure I want to give up 3 cards that are pretty useful in this turn. But actually, no, let me reverse that. I was thinking I might build an Inferno Tower, but it only does 1 damage. I don't have any of my support cards that give it armor to piercing. And the only person it could hurt right now, because the Bulwark has armor, Rhino has 2 armor, Carrier has 1 armor, is the Swarmer, who's going to be destroyed by my Concussion Tower anyway. So I think I'm going to sell both of these to bring myself up to 9 resources. And sure, I'll sell this Airburst Shell, because again, I don't have 2 enemies in the same space for a cannon shot. So that'll get me to 10, and maybe it's crazy, maybe it's putting all my eggs in one basket, but I am going to flip the Concussion Tower to its most powerful red form. And again, that is plus 1 damage, so it's going to do 2 damage with every attack, plus a die roll for potentially a 3rd damage. All right, let's go ahead and try our new toy out. So 2 damage plus a die. I'm going to use Defense Buster Bomb, so I ignore 1 armor. Remember, this is at the master level, and 2 more dice. So that's 3 dice of potential damage, 2 automatic, ignoring 1 level of armor. And that's only 1 of our shots. We still have another one waiting. All right, 2 automatic damage plus 3 dice. Let's hope we don't whiff again. Only 1, so that's 3 damage being done total. So the Bulwark's 1 armor is ignored. He takes 3 damage, only had 1, so he's destroyed. The Swarmer has no armor to ignore, takes 3 damage, only had 2, he's dead too. The Carrier's only armor is ignored, so he's down to 2 life. And the Rhino is a big nasty boy. We only ignore 1 of his armor, so he only takes 1 damage, leaving him with 5 overall still. The Swarmer's worth 2 resources, Bulwark's worth 3, so I get 5 resources overall. So all I've got left is a Concussion activation and an Any activation. That'll do my Concussion and my Cannon Tower nicely. Now I could destroy the Carrier automatically with the Cannon, but when he dies, he's going to drop a little shield tower that'll shield everyone around him. So I think I don't want that to happen before my my Concussion Tower activates. So I'm going to have a Cannon shoot at the Rhino first instead. So no roll, no booster, it's just using this to activate any tower. It does 3 damage, he's got 2 armor, he takes 1 damage, leaving him with 4 left. And we'll end using my last card, my Concussion Tower. I'm doing 2 damage automatically, plus 1 potential. If I can do 3, I'll destroy the Carrier straight out and actually do a damage to the Rhino. If I don't do the 3, the Rhino won't be touched at all. And we get... nothing. So the Carrier does take 1 damage, leaving him with 1. So I'm hoping he moves pretty slowly next turn, because if he just goes his normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he'll be at the extreme range of my Concussion Tower, and I can destroy him automatically with 1 attack. But let's see how things go. Oh! He gets plus 1 movement, so he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 1, 6. And the Rhino, remember, doubles bonuses, so he goes 6 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's still in range. Now we have a ton of guys coming out in this wave. So this is Swarmers moving 8. So that'll put them 4, 8 right over here. Got some Walkers. We haven't seen them yet, but they have a ton of life and are pretty basic besides that. They move 6 with the bonus right here. Got another friendly Bulwark with a shield at range 5. Got a Rhino who's going to join the Walkers because he's doubling the plus 1 bonus. We've got a Rumbler, 2 armor, 6 movement, plus 1, can carry 3 cores. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Now, know that was by far the biggest wave until the very end of this mission, so if I can survive this, I might be doing okay. Going to my refresh phase, I had no cards left over, so I draw 7 new ones. And not too bad of a draw here. I've got 2 cannon shots, so I might want to try to build an extra cannon this turn. Only 1 concussion, but I do have a tower, although I wish I had gotten my armor booster, but I didn't. I did get an airburst shell, which might actually help this turn, because I do have some guys in the same hex for once. And 2 Inferno. Maybe I'll build an Inferno. Maybe I'll sell them again. I don't know. I didn't get any of the boosters that take away armor with them. And obvious first play is going to be to play my 1 regular concussion attack, because I need to get rid of those swarmers so I can hit some other people. So now that's going to get both the swarmers, and they only have 2 life, so they'll be destroyed right away. The Rhino I might hit if I get the extra bonus. The Rumbler, same thing, and he's got 7 life and 2 armor. Jeez. Another Rhino. The Walkers will definitely hurt. The Bulwark, I'll at least get rid of his shield. So let's hope for a bonus hit. That would certainly help here. Hey, we got it. So that's 3 damage to everybody from this concussion tower. That's one of its 2 shots. It's got 1 left. So the Rhino does take 1 through his armor. He's still got 3 life. Sadly, the carrier is slightly out of range. Both our swarmers are destroyed, letting us attack other people now. The Rumbler does take 1 damage through its big 2 shields. That leaves it with still 6 life overall. The Walkers each take 3. That's half of their 6. I sneak 1 hit through the Rhino's shields. For the Bulwark, even with that big 3 damage hit, I just take away his shield and do nothing else. And I gain 2 resources each for destroying those swarmers, so that's 9 total resources I got right now. And I think before I start bringing the cannons and Inferno towers in, yeah, I think I'm going to activate my concussion tower again and try to blow up some more guys. It'd be great if I got another free hit, because that would destroy those walkers straight out. Oh, it tried, but no, only 2 damage this time. So that doesn't affect the Rhino or the Rumbler or the other Rhino at all. The Bulwark does take 1 damage. Both the walkers are left heavily injured with 1 life each. And that seems like kind of a perfect opportunity to shoot all these guys with an Inferno tower for 1 damage and finish those walkers off. So yeah, let's go ahead and install one of these for 5 resources. That brings me down to 4 overall. And Inferno towers again get 2 shots per turn, can hit 3 hexes in a row, everybody in them, but only do 1 damage to start. So I'll do 1 of my 2 Inferno shots, and won't hurt any of these armored guys, but it does defeat both of the walkers. Like swarmers, walkers are worth 2 resources each, so it brings me to 8, which is enough for a cannon. But the problem is if I build a cannon without the boost underneath it, I'm going to have a really hard time getting a line of sight with all these towers around. And I'll note that 1 tower on a boost does still block a line of sight for another. So like if I built another cannon here, this cannon couldn't shoot over there anymore. Maybe I could build a cannon here. I'll still be able to reach to there and there, give pretty good coverage. It would still reach all the way over to here, and nobody's moving slow enough to not at least get here on their first turn. So yeah, and I think that'll probably be my last Inferno tower. So that's 2 out of my 8. Then I'm going to sell the Inferno I'm not shooting and my air burst, because you'll note I don't need the area damage anymore. I defeated the guy. That'll give me 2 8 resources. I'll go down to 0, build my last cannon. So at this point, the only other tower I can use because of the attack cards I have, I will note that there are other towers available to me in this mission, but I don't have the cards to fire them, is 1 more Inferno tower. So I've got 2 shots. Neither one has any bonuses, so we're just going to do the standard 3 damage. I think one should probably finish off the carrier, even though that will activate his little shield tower ability. The other one should probably keep damaging this Rhino, because he's the closest to actually getting one of my cores. But wait. Oh, man. I can't shoot both because of the line of sight. So if I blow up the carrier, I can't get to the Rhino. Alright, so first cannon, still going to blow up the carrier. I get 3 resources for destroying him, and note that he drops a shield pillar, protects everyone within 2 hexes, and it has 2 times the number of players' shield tokens. So basically the next time 2 people get attacked within 2 hexes of this little shield tower, the shield will take it instead. So great place to put an Inferno tower and just wipe them all out in 2 seconds. And I'm back on the map with 3 resources, not enough to do much yet though. For my second attack, I guess I'll do 1 damage to this Rumbler. The rest of these guys can only carry 1 of my cores. This guy can carry 3. If he gets away, I've lost 1/4 of my life in one go. So I only did 1 damage after his armor, but hey, it's a start. Alright, now they're going to move. And I will note that, yes, they're going to get past my concussion tower, but once they get a core, they're going to come back around, so hopefully I'll get another go at them. So if they don't move extra this time, nope. So the Rhino goes 1, 2, 3, 4, still in range of both of my cannons. Rumbler goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, so he is in range of those shields. This Rhino goes 4. The Bulwark goes 4, still both within range of my concussion tower. And this turn, the only new guys we get are a Bulwark and a Swarmer. But note that now that we're into wave 4, they're getting a 1 hit point bonus. So, for example, the Swarmer has 3 life instead of the standard 2. Okay, I used my whole entire hand again, so let's see what 7 cards I get. Oh man, this was one of the worst results possible. I got almost no attacks, just a ton of supports that I can't use. Best I can probably do is use my defense buster bombs to attack with my concussion tower twice and just sell all the rest of this. That's really a bummer. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to shoot with my concussion tower once using my defense buster bombs. Now the Swarmer has to get hit first, but I guess I get to pick who gets hit otherwise for these shields. Oh wait, but the Swarmer's not in range, so the Rhino is going to just ignore this no matter what I roll. So actually, you know what? I won't use the defense buster bombs because it's not going to matter. All these guys have shields. I'll still roll my basic damage. I do get +1 damage. Man, what a time to waste it though. The Swarmer will be destroyed because he only had 3 life. But everybody else is just all about shields. The Bulwark loses his shields, and both of these guys are in range of these shields, so the carrier's effect is gone, but I don't actually do any damage to them. I do get 2 resources, though, for destroying that one Swarmer. Okay, now let's go again, but this time with the Defense Buster Bombs. That'll be 3 bonus dice and ignore 1 armor. And I can use some big results. Come on! Hey, great! So that's going to be 4 damage to each of them. Don't forget, 1 armor is being ignored. Now the Rhino's got 2 armor, so he'll take 3 damage, but he's almost dead. The Bulwark has only 1 armor, so he's completely destroyed. 1 more than I needed. And this other, he had +1 life, because I ignore his armor, but he's left with exactly 1 health out of the 5 he started with. Killing that Bulwark gives me 8 resources, so I have enough to start upgrading some of my other towers and or build my final Inferno tower. Let's see, do I want to keep any of these? I think I'm going to keep the Defense Buster Bomb. Oh, actually, Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, but the rest of these I think I'm going to sell, so that'll take me to 11 resources overall. Okay, the enemy's been working hard this entire time. I think they're about ready to take some of those core tokens. Let's see if they get there. No bonus. So the Rhino just goes 1, 2, 3, 4. He doesn't quite make it. Note they have to go to... Oh, wait. It looks like they go in this way. So 4. When they get right here, they actually grab the tokens and they start going back around. The Rumbler, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's almost there. He's going to grab 3 cores. He's got so much life. Oh, I hate that guy. 1, 2, 3, 4 for this very damaged Rhino. 1 good cannon shot might take him out. And then my very damaged Bulwark ends up right in the kill zone. What new friends do we have? Another carrier, moving 5. Another Rhino, moving 4. And another Swarmer, moving 7. And these 3 again have the +1 bonus from the wave. Okay, into round 6, I kept the Defense Buster Bomb. Let's hope I get some attacks this time, because I certainly didn't last time. Woohoo, that's a lot more like it. Both concussion with Defense Busters, and then a little bit of everything else, plus an extra tower for probably an extra cannon shot. So I'll certainly be leaning all these concussion missiles with Defense Buster Bombs. Do one of those to start out the round. And I'll hopefully blast the heck out of all 4 of these guys in range. That's 3 bonus dice. I only 1 this time, so that's 3 damage coming at them. The Bulwark is certainly destroyed with his 1 armor ignored. The Swarmer is destroyed. That's 5 resources. The Carrier's 1 armor is ignored, so he's down to 2 life. And the Rhino's got 2 armor, 1 ignored, so he's going to take 2 damage, leaving him with 5 overall. Now before I shoot with that again and destroy the Carrier and set up some shields that'll protect these guys over here, I'm going to spend 10 of my 11 resources and upgrade both of these cannons to their level 2. That gives them each +1 dice, have a chance of doing more damage. And they can both reach Big Daddy Rumbler here. He's got 5 life, so I'm not going to kill him this turn, but hopefully I'll be able to get him pretty low. Cannon number 1, you are go. 3 damage plus nothing, only 3. Rumbler's got 2 armor, so he's down to 4 life. Cannon number 2 using an activate any tower, and note that they are both within 4 range of him. See if he can do better than his brother. No, he can't. So Rumbler down to 3 life, at least more killable than he was. Actually, I'm better off than I thought because I forgot to take my 5 resources for that Bulwark and Swarmers. I'm at 6 overall. Okay, I have 1 Concussion Buster Bomb combo left to try to take these guys out. Let's see how our 3 dice treats us this time. Ooh, 4 damage overall. That will destroy the carrier, but he will be putting a shield down again. And the Rhino has all but 1 of his armor ignored, so he'll take 3 damage. So he's only left with 2. Feeling pretty good about stemming the tide so far. And just because I can, I've got this random Inferno tower left. I'm going to shoot at both the shield tower and the Rhino. In both cases, it'll take a shield away for its 1 damage. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. And it's completely gone for next turn. Won't bother me. Speaking of next turn, let's end with wave 6 coming on. No extra movement. Feeling good about that. All right, so Rumbler's going to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But note that he has now grabbed 3 of my 12 cores. Those just get slotted right on there. Let's hopefully get him back real soon. Rhino's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He only grabs 1 core though, so not nearly as bad. This Rhino's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and be pretty close to grabbing something. Although he does only have 2 life left, so those cannons should have something to say about that. And last Rhino, also with only 2 life left, will go 1, 2, 3, 4, right to here. Who do we have new coming on? A Bulwark, 5 life, and a shield right there. Couple Walkers, up to 7 life, right here. And a Swarmer with 3 life, right there. Now, next turn, we've got the big wave coming. And that's almost certainly when I'm going to use my power to add +1 to every attack I do. So let's see how much damage we can do before then. 7 new cards. On the good side, I got a nice mix. I've got a little bit of everything, plus an extra. I can do an air burst, which might help me this turn. And I actually do have an Inferno upgrade. Remember, this is going to ignore 1 armor on all the aliens the Inferno tower attacks. On the negative side, I didn't get any of my boost from my Concussion tower, so hopefully those will come up on the big turn next turn. Okay, so I've got 6 resources at this point. Could upgrade my Inferno tower. If I shoot with my Concussion and Inferno towers first and take out these Walkers, that would give me 10. I could up my cannon to do 4 damage plus a die roll. And then give me a pretty good chance of defeating the Rumbler straight out. Yeah, so let's go for that. So I'm going to do an unboosted Concussion tower shot first. Single die. Let's go for the 3. Not to be, only 2. Bulwark loses his shield. Walkers are both down to 5 damage left. Swarmer is hurt but not gone. And the Rhino takes nothing. Let's give it another try. Second and only remaining shot for my Concussion tower. That hit. Ah, no. So Bulwark only takes 1, leaving him with 4. The Walkers each have 3 left. I don't know how I thought I was going to destroy them in one go. The Swarmer's gone though. That'll give me 2 of the 4 resources I needed. The Rhino again takes nothing. So actually I've got an idea. I could shoot with 1 of my cannons at these guys, and the airburst shells would make it hit both of them, and that would be an insta-kill on both. Yeah. Although, is it worth it? Because literally they're just going to walk around. Well, actually they move 5, which means if they get a +1 or +2, they'll be out of my Concussion tower's range next turn. I'd rather get 2 shots with the cannon on that Rumbler and potentially destroy him. So I'm going to do an Inferno tower with a fuel tank. I don't even need the fuel tank. I could just get money from that. Because it'll do 1 damage each to the Walkers. With the fuel tank, it would also do 1 damage to the Bulwark, but that's all it would do. Nah, I'm just going to sell that fuel tank. I probably should never even put those in my deck and just play the Inferno tower. So that's 1 damage from each of these. You know, I mean, this feels... No. I'm gonna hope I don't roll the bonus movement and just smash him with my Concussion tower. So I'm selling both of these right now. But that brings me to the 10 I wanted. So let's make this one my big daddy cannon. Does bring me down to 0 resources. I mean, let's see. So I can shoot. So I'm doing 4 damage. That'll do 2 automatically. And plus a die roll. So I might destroy him without even needing the airburst shell. So let's not use that yet. And just shoot with the cannon. Okay, if I get the hit, I destroy this guy straight out. Yes! There we go. So that was 4 damage plus 1. So even with his 2 armor, he is destroyed. And his 3 cores go back here, and they'll move back towards the core housing in just a second. Let's see, I do have an activate any tower left, and I have an airburst shell left. There's a ton of guys coming out next turn, so I bet both of these will be useful. Although if I keep the airburst shell and then like don't draw one of my concussion tower boosts. But yeah, I'm going to hang on to both of these with the intention that I'll use them both, and hopefully I'll draw well. By the way, our friend the Rumbler was worth 4 big resources. Thank you for that. Brings us to 4 overall. I'd like to get enough to upgrade either my Inferno tower or one of my cannons. But first, my core housing moves 3 hexes back, and I believe it follows the same arrows as the guys, which is significant because it means that the Rhino gets 1. He picks it up right away without having to actually go all the way to where he was going, so I think he'll head back right away this turn. I believe that's how it works. See if we get bonus movement. Nope, it's been pretty much standard the entire game. So Rhino with a core housing will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Rhino just got a core housing handed to him. 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. Ooh. Glad I kept that air burst. I could easily blow both those guys up with 1 cannon shot. This Rhino's going 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. Walkers are moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, still in range of my concussion tower. That'll make them easy pickings. And this bulwark will go 1, 2, 3, 4, also in range of destruction. Our last friends are coming in. Oh, another Rumbler. Get out of here. He moves 6, so he's all the way to there. Got a Rhino moving 4. Couple of Walkers moving 5. Swarmer moving 7, but look at these targets. And I'll note that all these guys have +2 health now, so they're definitely tougher than normal. And then finally, this usually only happens in the final wave. I'm going to randomize all the guys I've killed. They're like little main info cards that show what their statistics are, and that'll determine who my final 2 guys are. And I'll note that you can play any of these waves going back and randomizing the entire time, so you never know who's coming, but I haven't tried that yet. So in this case, our first friend will be a Bulwark. That wasn't too bad. Now, normally you'd have 4 hit points and 1 shield, but because he's got the +2 bonus as well, he'll have 6 hit points and a shield. And there's still Bulwarks left, so I keep him back in, and I pick another one. Rhino. And you know what? Silly me. I've apparently never actually killed a Rhino, so we'll go with the Swarmer, the one that was right next. So that's 2 hit points +2, only 4. It's a pretty lucky draw there. So the new Swarmer joins his buddy over there, and the new Bulwark joins his buddy over there, and oh my gosh. Alright, this is big. This is the turn I'm planning to use my power to get +1 damage to every attack I do. Please give me the pretty stuff I need. Don't make me regret holding on to that. Okay, not bad. I got a cannon to go with my airburst shells, 2 concussion, and 1 buster bomb. Would have liked 1 more, but hey. And 2 anything, so I can fire my other cannon and do 1 of my Infernos. Pretty close to a perfect draw. Just would have liked 1 more buster bomb to kind of round it out. Now, note that I would love to start off with my Inferno just to get rid of the Bulwark's shield so I can do real damage to him, but I can't target him because I have to shoot the Swarmers, and that would take me more than 3 hexes away. So instead I'm going to start with my concussion tower, but I'm not going to use the buster bomb the first time. I want to save that for the Bulwark once his shield is down. So that's 2 damage plus 1 die roll. I didn't get it. Oh, but hold on. Definitely using my once per game power, so that'll make all my attacks +1. So that's 3 damage, even without the die. So injured Bulwark, his armor subtracts 1. He's down to 2. Swarmers are each down to 1. The Rumbler does take a damage, leaving him from a 9 to 8. The Walkers each take 3 damage. That leaves them at 5. The Bulwark just loses his shield, sadly. And the Rhino takes a single damage. That leaves him at 8. All right, now we are ready to bring the pain. Concussion with buster bombs, with +1 for my AI's once per game power. Come on, 3 hits. Let's destroy all these guys. Okay, 1. Not as good as 3. But that is 4 damage with the bonus from my AI to everybody. So Bulwark down, that's 3 resources. Swarmers both down, 5, 7 resources. Rumbler's, one of his armor's canceled, so he takes 3. He's got 5 left. Walkers both have a single life remaining. This Rhino, kind of like the other guy. The Rhino, like the Rumbler, 1 armor canceled, so he takes 3, leaving with 5. And the Bulwark has his only armor canceled, so he's down to just 2 life. And oh, whoops! I forgot my friends, these walkers over here. Well, they're definitely dead from these 2 attacks combined. So it was 4 for the walkers, 6 for the Swarmer, 3 more for the Bulwark. That's 9 resources. So it brings me to 13 overall. And I think I'll use 10 of that to upgrade my other cannon tower. We'll go and activate this Inferno tower once. It won't do any damage to the armored guys, but it will finish off both these 1 life walkers. That gets me to 7 resources. And let's go ahead and do a cannon with an air burst, hitting 2 guys in the same hex. I finally get to use that. And let's see, so either of my I'll do it with this cannon, I guess. So it's doing 4 damage. Oh, so actually with his 2 armor, if I don't roll the +1 die from the airburst shells, then I won't defeat the guy with 3 life. Let's see how we do. Hey, got them both. So they do drop both of the core housing tokens they had grabbed. That's 8 more resources. Gosh. Well, let's just go ahead. I'll spend all 15 to upgrade my Inferno tower to level red. So let's see. It's got 1 shot left, or I could shoot with the cannon because I've got an any tower left. It would do 2 plus a die roll, so it would maybe kill the Bulwark, and it only has a chance to hurt the Rhino and the Rumbler. Whereas if this cannon shoots at this Rhino, oh, that's an auto kill. So yeah, we'll do the cannon for now. Bam. And bam. And that's 4 more resources. 1 more and I can put out my final Inferno tower. Not that I think I'll need him. So no more enemies are coming on. We're just moving now and mopping up. Before I move them, I did not get a bonus. These guys come back to home. And these guys move 1, 2, 3, almost there. Although the Rumbler's chasing him, he gets to here. The Rhino and the Bulwark go right there. Now, you know, I realized I didn't even have to worry about that roll for that cannon last turn because I had +1 to everything. In fact, that probably means I probably should have attacked with the Inferno tower, but hey, so it goes. Alright, so I get 7 cards, and let's see if we can finish it this turn. Not sure I can. That Rumbler sure has tough shields. Alright, I've got 2 Buster Bombs, but no concussion towers. I guess I can fire once. Only got 1 cannon shot and an Inferno. So I guess I'll just try to finish off these guys. Maybe get 1 cannon shot against him and then cannon the heck out of him next turn. Okay, let's see how this does us to start. We're going to fire the concussion tower with the Buster Bomb. That's 2 damage plus 3 dice. There we get... Ooh, nice. So that's 4 damage. The Bulwark's armor is ignored, so he's dead. The Rhino only gets 1 damage defense, so he's down to 2 life. Brings us up to 7 resources, so hey, what the hey, I've got the money to spend. Let's put my last Inferno out there, leave me with 2 resources. Might as well use it while I got it. I'm going to Inferno with a fuel tank, the Rhino right next to me. So that's 2 damage plus a die roll, and I ignore 1 armor, so I'll at least do 1 damage to him. Here you go, Inferno Tower. Okay, just 1. But hey, 1 almost finishes him off. Nice job, Inferno Tower. And finally, I'm going to cannon with shells just for the bonus die, the Rumbler back there. So that's 4 damage plus 1 more, 5. So after his 2 shields, he is down to 2 life. I guess I'll sell this final card. They're not really going to be in range of that anyway. My core tokens go 1, 2, 3, back to home, almost there. Roll for movement. This is the end. +1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, he almost caught them. And remember, rhinos double the bonus movement, so that's 4, 6. Okay, should be my final 7 cards. Just need 2 cannon shots. That's not it. That's not it. There's 1. Oh, and there's a little helper. And there's another. Okay, so that should be all I need. And I will note, by the way, that I could, if I had a ton of money, I could like sell towers from one space and rebuild them and immediately file them in another space. So there could be a way, like if enemies were getting away, to kind of move my defenses around. All right, so I got a cannon with an airburst shell for our friend the Rumbler, a regular cannon for our friend the Rhino. That should take them both out. Okay, this cannon at the Rumbler. Hey, that's 5 damage. Minus his 2 armor, he never had a chance. And the Rhino from the other cannon, yeah, it's automatic. Alright, so wow, none of my core tokens got taken. Yeah, I'd had more trouble with the last mission. I guess I didn't realize how powerful the concussion tower would be right there in the middle, so that was pretty strong. Anyway, that was Defense Grid, the board game. Hope you enjoyed it. Good gaming, and we'll see you at the next stop.